The single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place. Maybe we can help today. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Telarus Tuesday call for October 15th, 2019. I'm Doug Miller, the voice of Telarus, the country's largest privately owned master agent and built for you. Thanks for being part of our weekly call. Last Tuesday, we featured a tremendous discussion with RSI, Renaissance Systems Incorporated, offering Cyber Compass, automated compliance and cyber risk management. RSI's Chief Security Officer, Taylor Hersom, showed us how Cyber Compass helps channel partners maintain control of any organization's compliance and cyber risk strategies. He also taught a new approach to beginning the cybersecurity discussion with clients through the Cyber Compass automated assessment and remediation processes. Outstanding information you really should see and hear. It's RSI and Cyber Compass. That's last week's Telarus Tuesday call. It is recorded and available now in your Telarus partner back office. On today's call, we welcome Nice inContact. Rusty Jensen is VP of Revenue Generation at Nice inContact and will discuss how the leading cloud contact center supplier supports Telarus partners for success. We'll learn how Nice inContact makes it easy to identify, work, and close those high-dollar software deals that grow with your client's business. And we'll discuss their differentiators in customer-centric selling, service, and deployment. Contact center sales with Nice inContact. That presentation is coming up in just moments. Also on today's call, we'll introduce a brand new Telarus supplier. It's Vigilant, offering solutions to manage your client's entire IT and cybersecurity lifecycle, from IT consultation and solution building to IT and security incident response, and featuring Cyber DNA managed network security, fast and affordable enterprise security monitoring. Vigilant, that introduction and all of today's information is coming up in just moments on today's Telarus Tuesday call. As always, we invite you to log in and use our video link and live chat platform. You'll see all of today's valuable information, and you'll be able to submit your questions and comments for today's presenters. So let's go ahead and get started. It seems that each week our list of Telarus President's Club qualifying opportunities fills out even more. This is perhaps the most impressive array of offers I think there has ever been. Our suppliers continue to help make it easy for you to qualify for this year's President's Club Award. And that will be, we're going to Puerto Vallarta, the beautiful Secrets Vallarta Bay Resort, taking qualifying partners next March. So many ways that you can qualify. You can either sell a combined 100K in Telarus MRR, or you can sell a specified amount with one of the individual sponsoring suppliers shown here on your screen. As you can see, there are quite a few. There are many terrific and easy ways to qualify for this trip. You don't want to miss this opportunity to join Telarus next year in Puerto Vallarta. It's our 2019 President's Club. This week, we are back on the road with events planned all over the country to help partners build their businesses. You can check out these tremendous opportunities and plan to join us at an event near you. Here is what's happening. First up, today, Tuesday, in Denver, Colorado, it's a Telarus Tech Talk event demonstrating how Rackspace and VMware are helping customers move to AWS to take advantage of both top technologies. We will meet at the Balistreri Vineyards in Denver today from 2 until 5 p.m. for Tech Talk. And the Telarus Mobility and IoT boot camps are running all this week. The sessions feature expert discussions on the Internet of Things and on mobility, both of which have the power to revolutionize the ways your clients do business and the ways you can make money as well. Here's this week's schedule. Today, the boot camp is in Boston from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. at the Capitol Grill in Burlington. Features presentations from Granite, Sierra Wireless, CyberReef Solutions, and Wireless Analytics. Tomorrow, Wednesday, the Mobility and IoT Bootcamp is in New York City at the Golf Club at Chelsea Piers from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. Expert discussions there will be led by Connexicor, Cyber Reef Solutions, Data to Go Wireless, and Mettel. On Thursday this week, the boot camp travels to Philadelphia at the Capitol Grill from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. and features specialized training from Cyber Reef Solutions, Data to Go Wireless, Verizon, and VMOX. And we wrap up the Mobility and IoT boot camps this Friday in Ashburn, Virginia from 2 until 4 p.m. at Topgolf. Our presenters on Friday will be Global Gig, Mettel, Cyber Reef Solutions, and Verizon. And our Telarus Innovation Conferences are moving full speed ahead as well. These events are immersive technology training experiences. We'll be exploring IoT, contact center, security, and much more. Take your business to the next level with this all-new, outstanding training and content from the Telarus team and from many industry experts. Big, huge, enormous prize giveaways going on as well, $5,000 worth at each event. But the big prize, of course, is the knowledge and training you'll receive to build your business. We still have 5 Telarus Innovation Conferences to be held during October. Here's where you can join us. This Thursday, October 17th, you'll find us in Chicago at Soldier Field, home of the Bears. And next Tuesday, October 22nd, it's a 2-tick Tuesday with conferences in both Salt Lake City at the Utah Olympic Oval and in Los Angeles at Dignity Health Sports Park. We're going to Austin, Texas on Thursday, October 24th at Antone's Legendary Blues Nightclub, and in Phoenix, Arizona on Tuesday, October 29th at Turf Paradise Horse Racetrack. Join us and take advantage of these tremendous opportunities to enhance your expertise and to build your business at our Telarus Innovation Conference. You can see the full schedule of events with all of Telarus' upcoming opportunities and register or RSVP at Telarus.com events. Well, as I mentioned earlier, today it is my great pleasure to introduce a brand new Telarus supplier. It's Vigilant, offering technology solutions to manage your client's entire IT and security lifecycle, from IT consultation and solution building to IT and security incident response. And it features Cyber DNA, managed network security, fast and affordable enterprise security monitoring. Vigilant reduces cyber attack detection time in just minutes, which reduces the overall impact and therefore the overall time and cost of remediation. It's very cool stuff. Greg Hodges is Vigilant's VP of Sales and joins us now to introduce our partners to Vigilant. Greg, welcome to our Telarus Tuesday call. Tell us how our partners and clients benefit from this new partnership.
Hey, thanks so much, Doug. We are so excited to be part of the Telarus family and to be connecting with all of your terrific partners who are out changing the world in our industry. And so I want to give you just a snapshot about Vigilant, and we'll be sharing a lot more about that on an upcoming call. But over the last couple of weeks, I've been with partners in front of customers of various sizes on the far ends of the spectrum. One of them was a very small 8-person office where they were a religious organization, but the retirement benefits board of that organization, and they had a concern about cybersecurity. And on the other end of the spectrum, I was sitting in front of, with a partner, a very large enterprise customer in Atlanta, a distributor, and they had the exact same concern as that small religious organization had. And it is, they were not confident about their security. They knew that there were gaps and vulnerabilities that literally kept them up at night. And that's where Vigilant comes in with a terrific solution for your customers. We take a different approach to security than a lot of vendors in that we don't focus so much on prevention, because prevention always fails. We focus on detection, and detection does not have to fail. In fact, detection, the way we do it, doesn't fail at all, because we give you eyes to see literally in every nook and cranny of your network. So threat actors, hackers, they are expert hiders. They always win the game of hide and seek unless you have the ability to see everywhere inside of your network, and that's exactly what Vigilant gives you. So here's something to think about. We know through data that breaches are up over 70% in the last 2 years at organizations across the world. At that same interval, that same time interval, spending on security is up by over 70%. So the question is, how can those two things be true? How is it that people are spending more and more and more on security, and yet breaches are happening more and more often? Well, that's because, like I said earlier, most security focuses on prevention, and there are always going to be holes in prevention. It seems that the threat actors, the hackers, are always one step ahead, largely because they have access to the same tools that your customers are buying for prevention. And they take those tools into their labs and they figure them out. They know where the holes and the gaps are. And then they still come into your network and sit there and wait for the right opportunity to strike. And what Vigilant does is gives you eyes to see them far faster than anyone else in the industry. The industry average for detection time is somewhere around 89 to 90 days. Vigilant gives detection within minutes to hours. And that's why we give you an advantage over everyone else in the industry at keeping your company secure, so that literally the people that are protecting companies at night, the IT managers, the CISOs, the CIOs, they can go to bed at night with confidence that their infrastructure is secure. So a couple of things that make Vigilant very different besides the things that I talked about is we do have the fastest detection time and resolution time in the industry. One of the great things about Vigilant is we have a zero false positives guarantee. So a lot of the things that your customers spend time on is filtering through all of these alerts that their current security provider or security tools tell them about. And so they have emails, inboxes full of all kinds of activities that they could engage. And that becomes noise, it becomes white noise to a lot of them. And so often we find that IT managers and CIOs and CISOs just have those things filtering even into junk email because there's so many they can't even do things with them. So Vigilant has a zero false positives guarantee. We have protection at all 7 layers of communication. Computers can only communicate with each other in one particular way, and that's through all 7 layers of the OSI model. We have detection in all 7 layers. And then one of the coolest things about Vigilant, and you'll hear a lot more about this on the next call, is we have unlimited incident response. So if your customers have Vigilant in place and the detection is noted, we'll work with them in an unlimited fashion with no additional cost to them to take care of whatever comes up. And here's something cool to know about Vigilant. We've been around now for right at 11 years or going on 11 years. And we've had 0 incidents in any of our customers that have caused them a data loss or a financial loss. And so a lot of great things to share with you in detail about coming up on the next call, and looking forward to doing that.
Greg, it's a phenomenal discussion, and we're really excited about the Vigilant partnership. The launch and training call is scheduled for tomorrow, Wednesday, October 16th. We're going to get started about 11 a.m. Eastern, and partners will want to be here. As you mentioned, it really is a different approach to cybersecurity, focusing on detection. And once that happens, if you can reduce that time down to just minutes, then you really are cutting down the overall impact and therefore the time and the cost of remediation. This is a way to save not only the impact of hacking and that sort of cybersecurity issues, but also the total cost, not only of the service itself, but the potential cost of remediation. It's just terrific. We're very excited about this. Partners will want to be there tomorrow morning. Looking forward to it. Thanks so much for the introduction today, Greg. We look forward to chatting with you more tomorrow and introducing our partners to Vigilant, our newest Telarus supplier.
Thanks, Doug. Really appreciate it.
You bet. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Greg used one of my favorite phrases, nooks and crannies. I've always liked that. If you have 6 nooks and crannies on a table and 5 of them fall off, what do you have left, a nook or a cranny? Something to think about. It is time for our weekly partner sales recognition. Our shout outs to some of the highest performing Telarus partners who've put in some of the top wins during our past weeks. In this week's third position, we could not be happier to congratulate Stacy Morgan. She is the owner and CEO, and Paul Morgan, Director of Technology at BCPS Telecom. They are just south of Austin, Texas. The BCPS Telecom team closed a tremendous sale of fiber Ethernet and EWAN services from Grande Communications to a client in the insurance services industry. Grande is a Texas based broadband company offering a full suite of internet, TV, and phone services over their high capacity fiber optic network. BCPS Telecom serves their clients by providing internet services, hosted systems, circuit monitoring, and invoice review services. This outstanding deal demonstrates their abilities and their ongoing success. Congratulations, Stacy Morgan, Paul Morgan, and the BCPS Telecom team on this fantastic Grande win. Taking our second place honors this week, we congratulate Elon Crane, Chance Crane, and all of the team at Wheelhouse Virtual Solutions out of Montgomery, Texas. The Wheelhouse Virtual Solutions team closed a fantastic sale of unified communications solutions from Fuse to a client in the healthcare arena. Fuse is unified communications, truly unified. It's a simple user experience, an intelligent platform, and third-party expert enterprise integrations to drive workforce productivity. The Wheelhouse Virtual Solutions team knows that technology changes, but their accountability doesn't. Wheelhouse will steer clients in the right direction while the client remains in control. Congratulations to Wheelhouse Virtual Solutions on this excellent sale of UCAS services from Fuse. Taking our top honors this week, Telarus recognizes and congratulates Ryan Hunt. He's the principal at Connect 4 Communications here in Salt Lake City, Utah. Ryan and the Connect 4 team closed a very impressive sale of contact center services from Genesys, the #1 customer experience platform. More than 11,000 companies across 100 countries trust Genesys to drive great customer experiences and great business outcomes. Ryan Hunt and Connect 4 Communications topped this same Telarus leaderboard just 1 week this past June and does so again this week with this outstanding sale. Ryan's in his third year as a Telarus partner, but has long-term experience in our industry, and it's being demonstrated with this tremendous deal. Congratulations, Ryan and the Connect 4 Communications team on this tremendous Genesys win. It is our top Telarus sale of the week. What a fantastic group of sales. We're now officially in the fourth quarter of 2019. The race is on for top partner honors. Thanks to all of our partners for continuing to trust Telarus with your business. Telarus is built for you. Well, here's a rundown of this week's training calendar to help you get to top partner status this year. 4 excellent opportunities being featured on today's call. First up, today, Tuesday, beginning at 2 p.m. Eastern, Fuse is conducting special training on driving productivity with Fuse data. You'll join Telarus Director of UC and Contact Center, Megan Tai, as she co-hosts this week with UCAS leader Fuse. You'll hear why Fuse is the leader in the UCAS space, see their easy-to-use interface in action, and get to know how Fuse can help you win any size opportunity. There's also going to be a huge incentive announcement to help you earn extra holiday cash. Fuse Driving Productivity Training. It happens today at 2 p.m. Eastern. And then tomorrow, Wednesday, beginning at 11 a.m. Eastern, it's the official launch and training call for our just introduced new Telarus supplier, Vigilant Technology Solutions. Be sure to attend this exclusive Telarus partner-only training and learn the importance of Vigilant's Cyber DNA solution. Tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern. And then this Thursday, another Telarus exclusive training event. Nice inContact, our presenter today, will show us how organizations have transformed their customers' experience by modernizing their contact centers. This special training teaches you 3 ways to identify a contact center as a service opportunity And you'll hear a case study win that you can apply to your own sales process. You also get a peek into CX1, the world's #1 CCaaS platform. Nice inContact brings all this together in an exclusive training event only for Telarus partners. It happens Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern. And then Thursday afternoon, beginning at 1 p.m. Eastern, Nextiva is conducting their monthly partner town hall, our chance to join the Nextiva team and hear from nationally known thought leaders, along with expert presentations of sales tips, product release information. There'll be a live Q&A session and some guaranteed fun as well. It's the Nextiva Partner Town Hall happening Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern. The details and registration links for these and for many other live and recorded learning opportunities are all in your new, reimagined Telarus Partner Back Office at agent.telarus.com. Here are some of the newest and best spiffs and promotions being offered by our suppliers. You can consider these as you evaluate your clients' needs and opportunities. First up, a terrific one from contact center solutions provider Sharpen. You can earn 5 times your first month commission for newly registered one-year deals that you close during this fourth quarter. 5 times your first month's commission payment on the initial contracted Empower, Connect, and Voice licensing. A 5x commission from Sharpen. And next, from Fuse, a fantastic way to earn fast cash on your Fuse opportunities. Submit those new UCaaS opportunities to Fuse before December 31st, and if within 30 days the opportunity results in a business meeting with a Fuse sales representative, you'll earn fast cash between $200 and $2,000 based on the number of that company's employees. Fast cash for UCaaS opportunities coming your way from Fuse. And finally, from Nice inContact, win more and expand your business. Don't get left behind in the expanding cloud contact center market. Rocket to success with the industry's leading commission promotion. 5 times the first month's commission on one-year contracts, 10 times the first month's commission on two-year contracts, and 15 times the first month's commission on 3-year contracts. That's just unbelievable. Win more indeed, up to 15x first month's commissions from Nice inContact. Nice indeed. These and many more fantastic deals from our suppliers can all be found at promo.telarus.com. On that note, as mentioned earlier, our featured presentation on today's call is, in fact, Nice inContact. Rusty Jensen is the VP of Revenue Generation at Nice inContact. He'll be discussing how the leading cloud contact center supplier supports you, our Telarus partners, for success. Nice inContact makes it easy to identify, work, and close these high-dollar software deals that grow with your client's business and pay some tremendous commissions as well. We'll look at differentiators in customer-centric selling, service, and deployment. It's contact center sales today. We've got Nice inContact here. Rusty Jensen, VP of Revenue Generation. Welcome to our Telarus Tuesday call. Great to have you here. I can't believe these kind of numbers we are throwing around. The opportunity is tremendous. Tell us a little bit how Nice inContact addresses that.
Absolutely, and thank you for having me here. So again, as he mentioned, I'm Rusty Jensen. So I've been with Nice inContact for the last 10 years or so. Actually started as a sales rep here and kind of progressed through, and I ran our mid-market division for the last 5 years. So many of you have probably worked with me in the past, but you know, in terms of how we operate and how we function, the channels are very important to us. I built a career out of working with you guys. In fact, I think a lot of people on this call have probably been involved with Nice inContact longer than I have. And I really appreciate the partnership, and I appreciate the time that you guys are putting in to come and talk about some of the different solutions that we have and how we can help you to grow your business. Now with me, I've got Tony Glick, and Tony actually runs our partner management team here at our headquarters. Tony, if you want to go ahead and say hello to everybody.
Hey everybody, happy to be here. Nice to meet everybody.
And Tony, actually, I want to get him introduced because I think you're going to see a lot of him. And what he'll be doing is driving a lot of our strategy around the development of our partner relationships, the enablement and education, and giving you resources you need to succeed, as well as just helping to facilitate giving you what you need to be able to drive more opportunities. And my experience is really on the commercial side. Tony comes from the what I would call the private sector of contact center. In fact, you've been in contact center for what, 18 years?
Yep, coming up on 18 years in January.
Awesome. So I'm excited to have him with me, and he'll be kind of adding some context as we go through and talk. So our objective here is to give you some value, give you some information that I think can be productive for you. So we're excited to be working with you. So let's go ahead to the next slide. So the first thing we want to cover are some of the market trends and some of the things that are happening in the contact center market. There's a lot of movement. There's a lot of change happening I want to address that everybody can be aware of. But I want you to know what's happening in the market and where some of our areas of focus are. And one thing I could tell you is working with NICE. So I started with inContact. And inContact, we started in 1997. We built a business around this channel. So we started as a telecom carrier. Our first sales org was partners. So referral partners existed before I was hired, before we were put in a sales organization. In fact, the two people that originally wrote the code were people selling phone systems and IT consultants. And as we've grown and kind of we built a really good practice around voice routing and skills-based routing and omni-channel routing. And then NICE bought us about 3 years ago. And NICE is a group based out of Israel. They do an amazing job when it comes to two things: strategy and building product. So our product has advanced very radically in the last few years because of the investment and the involvement from NICE. And they do an awesome job. So as you can imagine, we were a little nervous about it, but it's actually turned out really, really good. And we're very excited with the products and things that they've done because I think they're really making an impact on the market. So one of the things that they're very good at, as I mentioned, is strategy. So with them all being kind of based in Israel, they're all ex-Israeli military. They got a few VPs of strategy that are all ex-Israeli intelligence officers. So when they sit down and talk to you, it's a little bit uncomfortable at times as they shake you down. But at the same time, they do a great job at looking at what's happening in the market and where to move. And because they do that, it's really good for people like us to kind of follow in that wake on the strategy and what they're doing and what they're seeing in the market and being able to build a business out of it and take the opportunity. And we've had more success in the last few years since they've been helping to lead that strategy than we've ever had, which I think is great from a sales perspective. We're excited about it. So let's talk about where some of those trends are and what's happening and what NICE is doing to build out product suites to help you guys to have more to sell and to have more success. So let's go to the next slide. So the contact center market itself, and this is a very unusual thing, but it's actually growing from around a $16 billion market opportunity to around $23 billion by 2023. That's a huge gain. It's not common for markets to grow that way or to shift that way, but it's exploding in the market, and I'll show you why. And we'll talk a little bit about why in the next slide. There's a radical advancement that's happening in technology in this market right now and the demand that people want in contact center. So if you think about it, we're on a 50-year low when it comes to the employment rate. It's tougher and tougher to be able to find the resources we need to be able to support contact center. You've seen contact center businesses try things like outsourcing outside the country. They're doing everything they can to try to reduce cost and support. And the latest focus is around just advancing technology in really three major areas. One is in digital channels. So you think of a contact center, 80% of them are inbound customer service. Voice calls are coming in. They also have a whole series of digital channels, your chat, your email, your SMS. Those are the most common. But we actually offer over 30 different channels, which is, I can't name them all. But there's other things that are coming in, like, for example, instant messaging systems, review sites. You have information coming from social media segments. You have all this communication that are coming and going on about the company. And it's opened up a really incredible market in terms of expansion for opportunity. And NICE inContact's on the leading edge of doing that. We had a recent acquisition, and we've integrated a platform inside of our CX1 suite to provide those digital channels. That's helping. The second thing that's going on is the need for analytics to be infused into everything. So speech analytics and text analytics are analyzing every voice call, every text. It's showing you what's being said, how often it's being said. It's showing us sentiment, so what customers actually think about the interactions. It can detect their frustration in their voice or tones of voice. And it allows people to see, it allows these contact centers to be able to see what's really going on without having to listen to every call. And then based on those analytics, it's triggering change. So there are changes happening in the contact center and adjustments, and we call workforce intelligence and automation. When things aren't going well or it's trending wrong, we can see that in analytics, and it's changing the way we route, it's changing the way we do quality, it's changing the way we interact. And this skips the painful steps of having to sit and listen to every single call. You can see the analytics. It also gives you an opening when it comes to customer sentiment and survey. Surveys are fantastic. What about all those people who don't fill out surveys, right? I mean, Tony, I don't know, when you get on calls, do you fill out surveys typically when you call into a call center? And
Not very often.
support?
No.
No, I think most of the surveys are coming from retired folks, right? But actually having the opportunity to look and see what people are thinking and feeling and kind of what they're saying through speech analytics without having to survey everyone every time is a really good bit of information. But again, that's changing the market. So companies are investing a lot of money to get that kind of information, which again is expanding the market. And the third thing's around automation and AI. Everybody says AI. Oh, we got AI. AI infused everything, right? But really, what is AI doing at a company like inContact? It's things like workforce intelligence. It's looking at the patterns of how calls are coming in, of how analytics is being affected, of reporting. And it's using that information to automate changes in the system that don't have to be done manually. So it's upgrading certain agents to different skills. It's making modifications and change in the system automatically, so managers don't have to manually supervise it. And there's AI and machine learning capability that helps to identify those patterns and make that change. Great. When you look at AI as well, you have things like chat bots and voice bots that are coming online. These are legitimate. These are very legitimate. There's other trends that have happened in the market. We have seen that these voice bots and chat bots are becoming very legitimate in the market, where you have a AI engine that's interacting with and answering questions from consumers, navigating them through their websites, like helping to drive a self-service. Same thing with a voice bot. These technologies are new, and we're still kind of waiting to see where it goes, but it really is driving a lot of investment in the market. On the next side is your robotic workflow automation. So if you've ever been in a contact center, there are so many applications you have to navigate. There's so much you have to touch. There's so many, because you have payment systems, you have a CRM system, you have the old system that you have to log into, which is like an AS400, and then you have your old IBM for certain things. You have your ticketing system. I mean, if you watch call centers take calls and do customer service, it can be a mess.
Yeah, I think what's interesting is you've got your contact center agents who are on the front end of your business, and when they're navigating, they become experts at all these technologies. But in its most simplest form, what Rusty's explaining is we break these down and give agents a lot of the most important technology and tools to make them more efficient to do their job, so that customers can move through calls and any form of communication they need efficiently and fast. And so, being that it's the age of the customer today, customers really dictate how businesses move. And the better you are prepared to handle phone calls and give your agents the tools to handle it, the better you'll be handling customers and what they need.
Yeah. So we got to be able to take advantage of this type of technology. That's kind of what we're seeing in the market. If you want to move the slide forward. Now, the other thing we're seeing is the enterprise is shifting to cloud contact center. So if you talk to any companies or any of our competitors, everybody defines enterprise differently. We're true enterprises now. So over 750 contact center seats are making shifts to come to inContact and to move to the cloud. And I can tell you that it's been very successful for us, but it's been incredibly difficult to manage. these are totally different situations. You have 10,000 contact center seats. Inside of it, you've got 70 different contact centers. You have 25 years of workflow and pattern and process that has been built. You have to migrate them from an environment. I mean, it's a really heavy investment that we've had to make to do that. And it's been a little distracting, I would say, over the last few years. And we finally kind of got a hold of it. It's working really well. It's successful. But I can tell you right now, those types of accounts, those types of products that are required, it's tough. It's tough to do. And right now, at the moment, inContact is moving much faster to support that type of situation, and we're really the only provider that can do it. But one of the things I've noticed is our channels, kind of our bread and butter. Our company lost a little bit of focus for a year or two on what built the business and what is our business, which is our bread and butter, which is really mid-market. So if you go to the next slide. So we continue to support that. And the mid-market at inContact and SMB is really how we built the company. And it's also what drives innovation. So your small and mid-market customers, anywhere from 20 to 150 contact center seats, we have over 2,000 of them. They're years ahead of where the large of the enterprise, but their technological need is similar to the enterprise. So one of the things we're seeing in the market is people are saying, well, inContact's the big guy. You know, you don't necessarily need all of that. But really they do. Their needs are the same. I mean, Tony, you've worked in contact center for years.
Yeah.
Maybe you can echo this, but you know, contact centers really do four things. They have to route contacts, so voice and digital. They have to schedule and train agents. When you're running contact centers of 70 people, do you manage schedules?
Oh yeah, yeah. And I'll tell you what's interesting is I've actually seen contact centers from sizes from 15 agents all the way to 800 that are, you know, they all need the same thing. I mean, I've said it before, but if you've got 15 agents, you're still, I mean, to efficiently work and to make sure that you're cost effective, you've got to manage calls effectively and have a workforce tool. You know, I've seen contact centers of 500 that still use Excel.
Yeah.
You know, and so being able to manage with, you know, these four pillars, it doesn't matter if you're 500 seats or 15. Everybody's starting to look at it today, and everybody needs it, and everybody's wanting to know how they do it better.
Yeah, exactly. And they just have to do the same thing. You got to route contacts. You got to schedule your agents, make sure they're there. You got to make sure they're saying the right things, that they're trained. You got to make sure that you're tracking what your customers think about it. So, you know, if you got your agents to get on message, that's great. But what do your customers think? And then you have to be able to facilitate change. So you have to know what's happening in detail from a reporting standpoint. You got to be able to make changes to the contact center. So when you look at what contact centers need, that's what they need. And what I've kind of been, you know, watching and observing, even running mid-market, is people are basically saying, well, you don't need those things. And what's really happening is we have agents and people that are losing opportunity. 46% of our SMB customers, so 20 to 150 seats, 46% of them use these WFO products because they need them. If we don't sell them a scheduling tool, they have to schedule with something. If we don't give them a quality management or screen recording tool, they have to hunt through these files and open up everything and score them on Excel. It's pain. If we don't give them a tool for customer sentiment, they're buying SurveyMonkey or whatever else. They have to buy something else. This represents like 6 products. What NICE has done is they've unified all of those products into one product, the CX1. And it's awesome. I mean, it really is a game changer.
Yeah, I was going to bring in Rusty, but I've on the other side of working with the supplier, I've actually run my own call center, and I've actually experienced managing different suppliers. And the challenge that you get is they don't speak together a lot of times. When we would deploy technology, even with a small call center of 40, we would have all these different tools, and they wouldn't speak together. And so it's common to be pulling reports from different areas, multiple reports, and creating, you know, these elaborate spreadsheets. And they were inaccurate. And so, you know, during this time I had used inContact and other suppliers, and, a big thing for me was getting accurate data all in one place, all put in the same area. And that's really where the market started changing when we were doing that.
Yeah, it really is a pretty cool situation. It's a good situation. We just now need to kind of take advantage of it. One more statistic: our mid-market business has gone from $127 a seat on average per month to $272. Huge gain because of this technology being integrated. It's awesome. So want to go to the next slide. So the other thing we're seeing in the market is a little consolidation, and I want you guys to know what's happening. So CRM and CCaaS are starting to converge. So Salesforce is creating a contact center product. You see Zendesk releasing a product. So CRM is starting to get into the point of trying to engage in contact centers as a service, at least using things like Twilio for basic routing. UCaaS and CCaaS are also converging. So you have Vonage, who acquired New Voice, Ring, who acquired Connect First. You see that is kind of starting to happen as well, where UC is trying to get those basic products as a part of their suite. Avaya just made a very big move with Ring, where now they're a master agency for Ring Central. They're referring business to Ring, which we don't know exactly what the impact of that will be. The way their partner program works is that they'll let multiple partners in, and they kind of choose the one that provides the most value. With that partnership being kind of a critical cornerstone for them, we'll see how it disrupts our business between us. But we're going to work to be the best partner we can with Ring Central. We're going to try to provide as much value to them as we can as that happens, and try to keep our relationship strong. We'll have to see how they operate. But these kinds of moves will continue to disrupt things as the contact center market continues. I'll move forward. So we see some of those changes. So now we want to talk about our strategy. Can you move to the next slide, please? So the strategy on how we can help our partners and help you guys to execute and build your business. Go ahead. So next slide. So the first thing that we have done is we segmented our business. So sales, services, and product are fully functioning in 3 different complete silos. We have SMB, mid-market, and enterprise. We have a different services leader, different sales leader, and different leaders for each individual segment. As I mentioned to you before, some of the enterprise had become a little distracting. So a couple of years ago, we embarked on a process to make that change happen. So we put the right resources in so we can support really well from startups to global enterprise. Anything over 20 contact center seats, we need to be in there with you to help you. And you'll see a massive change in how we serve. Next slide. So we've done things like simplified pricing, and we've created great implementation bundles. So pricing bundles, there's 1 of 3. They're fantastic, simple options. In the past, we had more complex pricing. New bundles are now available. The next slide. Another change that we made is on-site deployments that we included without cost. We have put those in, and they're available to any customer that you sell. Again, we have a huge network of implementation people and people all over the place. So on-site deployments are available to any of your customers without cost. Go to the next slide. And then from a services perspective, you can see that we know how to execute it. So DMG ranks us, gives us top scores in 8 of 13 categories. We have perfect scores in overall satisfaction and ease of doing business. That's from a third party telling you on how we operate, and all it's doing right now is just getting a lot better. I've seen a tremendous change in the company, which I love, excited about. You can move forward. Now, the next thing that we're doing from a partnership standpoint is investing in innovation. So next slide. NICE inContact's positioned really well to take advantage. This market's growing from, like we said, from 16 billion to 23. We talked about all that advanced technology that's being deployed. We're watching it get built. We have 1,900 R&D developers, and they run on a 24/7 clock. So we'll develop it and code it in the US. We will then take it to the Philippines for QA, then it goes to the Indian team, and then it goes to the Israeli development group on 24-hour cycles. So the speed with which we're developing technology in CX1 is incredible, and the resources in creating $400 million in cash a year is resources to build it. And I don't say this because we're trying to tell you we're awesome. I'm just telling you the impact of what we've seen the product do is incredible. And it's advancing so quickly, but all that does is open up opportunity for us from a sales perspective, which we think is a wonderful thing, and we're set up really well to take advantage of it. So go ahead to the next slide. Now, what you're going to see is there's a new Gartner report coming, but you're going to see further separation in the near future. So you see inContact kind of on the up right there. You're going to see further separation, and you're going to see that from all the different vendors that are in the market. And it's because of the speed with which we're taking advantage of this market. So it just opens up some great opportunity for you and for your current customers, which is pretty awesome. The next slide. Okay. And with all of that stuff being said, with everything that's happening in the market, everything that's going on, I want you to understand that we work for you. We are investing with you. We want to spend time helping you to build your business, your companies. We want you to make money. We want you to be successful, and we need you. And it makes sense for us to double down on our strategy and to invest in ways that help your company to build. You want to move forward? So I'll show you a couple of different ways we're doing that. So we have a great partner community, great benefits. We have a partner success team that's focused on you. We have over 50 people in the channel. Tony runs about 20 of them. And but we have another 120 salespeople. We just went through a process to train all of our sales organization on how they can be more helpful to you. Go ahead and move to the next slide. We have new resources. So in our inContact partner community, we have something like Content Hub. Every bit of content and training that we have, that we train our internal teams on, are available to you. There's new prospect-facing assets. You can send out emails, videos, anything you need to be able to interact with your potential customers or get assets that make you look professional and arm you with what you need. We're giving you access to all of it inside the Content Hub, videos, trainings, things of that. We're also going to roll out a series of webinars and trainings and other things that Tony's going to drive. They're going to help give you information that you want and need. We don't want to just show up and pitch you and say, bring us a lead. We want to teach you and help you and give you what you want. So that's part of what we're doing. If you move to the next slide. We also have things like our process from an enablement standpoint. We're teaching everybody to do one-on-one enablement to help you. We have one-to-many enablement trainings that we're building, that Tony's doing, some great information. So we're building webinars that we think might be valuable. We just launched our Truth in Spiffing webinar. You see all these spiffs out in the market. What are they offering? Our competitive intelligence expert has put together a training that just gives you factual data. What does everybody offer? And what does it mean to me? It's been really helpful. Actually, the feedback we've gotten from our first one was great. We want to invite you to our next Truth in Spiffing webinar. We do competitive intelligence webinars, so you know what people can actually offer. We also are going to put together a partner academy for certification. We're going to put together a ROI training to talk to you about how to sell ROI in the contact center and how to maximize that. We're going to put that together. All these kinds of things, and we'll take requests. But we want to give you information that you need. We also have spiffs like our 5X, 10X, 15X spiff that was just announced today. We are investing money. We want you to get that money, because if you get that money on the spiffs, it helps you build your company. That's what we want. As your company grows, so does mine. So we're doubling down on the investment that we're putting in our channel. For the next slide. So we have other ecosystems and things like our inContact Dojo, which is where our partner academy will be. That'll help you to go through any of our internal learning LMS we give to our sales team. For the next slide. And there's a link right here inside a Content Hub of all these trainings that you can take. It's just good information to have. You want to go ahead to the next slide. And here's a quick visual of the team. If you want to move to the next slide on who's going to help execute. So you see me up there in the top left. It's not a very pretty picture, that's why I made it small. So you have SVP of Revenue Generation, Scott Vincent runs our RPMs. Tony Glick runs our corporate team inside to help support you. And Ray Hicken is our SVP of Strategy and Business Development. He's focusing on developing new partnerships and managing some of the accounts that we have that are existing. But we're definitely doubling down. We've increased our headcount by about 30% in the channel to support you. So if you want to move to the next slide. So a couple things to keep in mind. This Thursday, 11 a.m., Howie Oren, used to be a connectivity engineer here, has been in sales. I worked with him for years, love the guy. He's fantastic. He's going to do a deep dive product training. A little screenshot of our product as a singular suite. Show it to you, talk to you about it, talk about how to position it. Howie's great. We love listening to him and how he presents. I wouldn't say he's as good at presenting as Doug, but he's good. And we're excited to be working with Howie. So he'll be 11 o'clock on Thursday. Next slide. We're also going to be sending out an announcement. We keep promoting the spiff. So we talked about that. So there's a 5X, 10X, 15X. Now, the first 4 opportunities from anybody who's on this call, we're going to give you $500 extra just to submit the lead and then get it converted as an opportunity. Tony will communicate with the Telarus team, let them know how to notify us of those that you were on the call. But we'll give you a $500 gift card for the first opportunities created. Again, anything over 20 seats, our bread and butter. That's what we want. So don't be worried about sending us the SMB accounts. We'll make you a lot more money if you do. And then the last thing we want to talk about, just to quickly announce, is we will be sending out a bit of information around our Truth in Spiffing webinar series. We want to do it every month. So as new spiffs and things come online, we want to make sure that you have a full understanding of what these are. And we also do a calculation that kind of shows you what will really actually maximize your commission, which is what are the average sales rates? How do they spiff? What's the likelihood of it being a 1-year versus a 2-year, et cetera? And so as they change, we want to just keep that intelligence up and provide it to you as a service each month. And we're trying to be as unbiased as we can be, right? Of course we're going to be. We work for NICE. But we're going to try to be as unbiased as we can be to just give you information. And if somebody spiffs better than ours, we'll tell you. So that's kind of where we are. So ready for questions. Opening up for any questions. I'm sorry, guys, I went over a few minutes, but we're happy to take any questions.
Rusty, great presentation today. This is Rusty Jetson. He's the VP of Revenue Generation at NICE inContact, talking about opportunities and success in the contact center market. Phenomenal information about what NICE inContact is doing to make it easier for partners to sell in this marketplace. You talked briefly at the beginning about the sheer size of this marketplace and that it is growing really at an unusual rate for this type of a market. If you would, just talk briefly about some of the major hurdles that partners tend to run into when trying to sell into this business and how NICE inContact helps overcome those hurdles.
So I'd say the biggest hurdle is that the technology starts to get a little bit complicated. It's simple. Contact centers route calls and emails. They schedule people. They make sure they're saying the right things. They do the surveys, right? And they understand the customers. And then they aggregate the reporting. But you know, as Tony mentioned before, I mean, you get into a contact center, they have 6 or 7 different systems, and they have all these rules. And they've come up with all these rules for the last 5, 6, 7 years. And the contact center is under so much pressure to try to save money. They have all these different rules and complexities. So one of the hurdles you get into is you look at it and you're like, wow, there's a good way to make money. And it's a really good way to help fund other projects because of the ROI. But one of the hurdles is you start getting to it and you're like, whoa, these are a lot of questions and a lot of information that I'm getting that I'm not used to. So what we've done as an inContact team to help you is we put together a series of training for a whole field and for our channel team to get in there and give you the right questions to ask, give you the backing around information you need. If you feel unprepared, we have a partner training academy that we'll put you through. We will give you any information you need to be prepared, and we'll sit with you and talk about what to say and what to expect when you get into each engagement. And then obviously we're available immediately to jump on any call that you need. Now, again, a lot of you guys, most of you actually have more sales experience than a lot of our salespeople do. And you get it. You get the relationships, you get it. It's just when you start getting with contact center business people and they start going through all these crazy acronyms and we need this and this integration, this, that, it starts seeming complicated, but at the end of the day, it's routing, it's scheduling people, make sure they're saying the right things, getting the surveys, and getting the reporting and helping to make changes happen. So when you boil it down, it's pretty straightforward. We interact with call centers every day, but at times it gets overwhelming when you start engaging it because it seems like there's a lot going on. And everybody gets scared of the price. But at the same time, it's so ROI driven and automation driven that the business case is it's a piece of cake. And we'll help you guys to understand it as well. Typically what happens.
Please don't.
Go ahead, Tony.
Sorry. Sorry, please don't hesitate to call. One of the reasons why Rusty brought me over to the channel as well is because I've sat in the shoes of people who have run contact centers, and I can really break it down and simplify what they're thinking when you talk to them and what they need. And yeah, don't ever hesitate to call and ask that question, because I can break it down in its most simplest form of what they're actually thinking and needing.
We're running a little bit short on time. A couple of questions from our partners I want to be sure to get in here. Brad Carell asks a great question. I know a lot of our partners have thought of it. Do we have an update yet on when Telarus partners might be able to earn residuals on legacy NICE products in addition to the NICE inContact product line?
Yeah, that's a good question. So currently, one of the things that used to happen is we actually paid less money, and most people pay less money on WFO products. In the CX1 suite, we pay a full commission set. We also are providing commission for any of the software as a service WFO standalone products that we sell. Those are fully open to you. You're more than welcome to register them here. But our focus as a company is not to sell more of the on-prem stuff long-term, and we currently don't have the ability to pay on the legacy on-premise NICE equipment and scenarios. However, if you do have an opportunity to bring it, we'll probably sell it on the new cloud platform, most likely. So we will pay for anything that is software as a service. That's our strategy. That's where NICE is moving. That's why they bought us.
Another area that a lot of partners ask about, even with all of the advances in contact center technology, practices, and so forth, many contact centers still rely heavily on agents, and those agents are subject to attrition. What sorts of solutions does NICE inContact have to help contact centers reduce the occurrence of attrition in their marketplace, and how is that affected by technologies such as AI and other new trends in the marketplace?
That's a great question. So 2 areas, and this is something that most vendors don't even address or try to address, but I'll tell you how we do it. So one is we use, first of all, one of the biggest frustrations for a contact center agent, Tony could probably say, is they don't know how they're performing or where they're at or where they stand. So they don't know how they're performing because it takes 2 weeks to get reporting together because they got 6 different systems. It's painful, it really is. And it's 90% of contact centers, you'll see that. First of all, letting them see where they are and how they're performing improves attrition actually quite a bit. When we do gamification, we have systems that actually let them have a pet. So if you hit your metrics, you get to feed your pet. Your pet gets fatter. If you don't hit your metrics, it dies. Like you have the ability to actually do challenges and compete with each other, and these things actually drives people to the contact center and enjoy their job better. Also, the unification of UI. So we have a product that unifies the entire UI, because contact centers will have 4 to 6 different applications. You put it into a singular screen in a pane of glass. They can customize it, put their own pictures in the back, but it actually increases the speed of training, because when you can control what they see, you can train them faster. So not only do they have a better experience around working in the contact center, they start adapting tools that they want. If they go to another contact center, they won't have that stuff, and they'll want to stay and keep it. It's kind of a game to them, and it's interesting. It actually works. But then when you do have attrition, you can train them so much faster because it's 1 screen, not 6, and it's amazing how that improves things. And then when you add, sorry, I get all passionate. I love this stuff. When you start adding ROI, then you start reducing the number of people you actually have to hire. So the attrition rates actually improve a lot, and we have a plan to actually help execute that. When we deploy it, we can build a plan to make it happen. It's great.
Yeah,
well,
I would add that. Oh, sorry, I keep jumping. I would just add that you have to remember, attrition is always going to be a challenge, and will continue until they adopt some of these tools, because people aren't born, don't grow up wanting to work in contact centers. It's not their ideal career and job, and so you have to find ways to engage them, and culturally. You have to shift culture to technology so that it can work for everybody, not just a few contact center agents that make them happy. And so what Rusty's talking about really engages the full contact center and keeps people engaged and makes them want to, extend their career longer at one place than continue to jump from place to place.
Guys, we are out of time for today. I've got to let it go there, but my thanks to Rusty Jensen, Tony Glick from inContact for being here with us today. We are not done, however. Thursday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern, we have exclusive Telarus partner training from inContact. We had a few questions that we couldn't get to today. Bring those Thursday. Let's have an interactive discussion, and we'll talk more about the inContact offering, the contact center market opportunity, the amazing technology that is available to help not only build your client's business, but to build your own business. This is where the big deals reside right now. And inContact is making it great with huge commissions and spiffs. We talked about those. 500 extra bucks available for Telarus partners who mention all of this information. And don't forget that Thursday training where you can get all of your questions answered. Tony, Rusty, thanks so much for the time today. We look forward to talking more on Thursday. Great presentation.
You bet. Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thanks to all of you for your attendance and participation today. If you have suggestions for the call, please email them to marketing@telarus.com. And we're back here next Tuesday with more. Till then, I'm Doug Miller, the voice of Telarus. Have a great selling week, everyone.